Joel, is Alabama the clear favorite to win it all?
I do believe in the old adage, to be the champ, you got to beat the champ.
Okay.
And so right now, yes, Alabama is the reigning national champion. They're ranked #1 and should be. There's no doubt. If I was a voter, I would have them at #1 in the poll. That being said, it's not clear cut.
Okay.
Because they have some holes right now. They've got some things, some warts, if you will, to clean up. One of them, namely, the pass defense, an area that Nick Saban is supposed to be the expert in, right? And he handles a lot of the secondary coaching. And right now, there's been way too many missed assignments and blown coverages in the back end for Alabama. They give up 400 yards passing to Ole Miss. And you can understand that because it's Chad Kelly. He's the best quarterback in the ACC, or SEC, excuse me. Then last week, they give up 400 yards passing to Arkansas. That's a Brett Bielema coach team. I mean, there's not many games that they're throwing for 400 yards, and they do that against Alabama. That's concerning to me. So with those types of holes, you have to look at other contenders, Ohio State being one of those. Watching Ohio State throttle Oklahoma in Norman was eye-opening. With all those young players, they're so fundamentally sound. I think the most underrated coach right now in America that's not a head coach is Greg Schiano. If I was an athletic director and I'm looking for a head coach next year at a college, I'm pointing at Greg Schiano because what he has done both at Rutgers, then some NFL tenure, and now as an assistant at Ohio State has been remarkable. I think Washington is a great football team. Their quarterback should be mentioned in the Heisman Trophy race right now, probably second to Lamar Jackson. Jake Browning has 23 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. I think that you've got to throw Michigan in there with the hellacious defense that they're playing, to steal a word from you, Skip. They're playing great defense. So, no, I don't think it's as clear-cut as people want to make it out. Alabama's got some holes, and they're going to have to deal with those at some point, whether it's in the SEC championship game this week against Tennessee or down the road in the college football playoff.
And here I was, thought I was going off the grid. That's the team that I thought could beat them, Washington. Jake Browning, 23 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And to beat Nick Saban, if you think you can just dot the I and says, okay, here we come, teams that give him problems are teams that can throw the football.
That's right.
They beat Oregon by 49 in Oregon.
Oh, yes.
They beat Stanford by 38 with Christian McCaffrey, and we know what Stanford represents. They were a very good football team. They won a BCS bowl game, and Christian McCaffrey was in the Heisman contention. He went there, and we haven't heard his name mentioned again.
That's right.
They pounded him.
This team is the real deal. Now, I don't know how good that conference is. Joel, you'll know better than I. But the way they're playing and the way this young man can throw the football on a neutral site, I think they could give them a problem. But in order to beat Nick Saban, you need to throw the football, and you better be able to stop his run because he's going to run the football, and now they can throw it now.
Yep.
They'll always be able to run it, but now they can throw it with the true freshman. I would take Alabama over any team on a neutral field, but they're not head and shoulders above the rest.
I thought you were Roll Tide. It's over.
Sometimes I do it slow.
He started to get it slow.
And then sometimes I do it real fast.
Wait. Now it's getting slower and slower. It's like coming to a dead stop over there.
They got a tough look. They got Tennessee this week, and then they got Texas A&M next week now.
They sure do. Nick Saban keeps getting a pass for his pass defense. I'm sorry, I don't get it. I've told you guys before, so I'm not being a hypocrite. This isn't 2020 hindsight. I called this start 3 weeks ago after the Ole Miss game. I told you, what am I missing here? There's actually some Charlie Strong going on with Nick Saban in that both of them hang their hats on defense, trademark, and I went back 3 weeks ago. I went over the last 4 years. They've gotten torched fairly regularly. As great as they've been, as successful as they've been, they've had 1, 2, or 3 games a year where they just got obliterated on the back end. Now, their front seven is always hellacious.
Yes.
It's hellacious. You
great.
cannot run a lick on them. So most teams just say, Chad Kelly just says, okay, we'll just throw it all day long. And he throws for 421, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions. That's pretty great. Now, they lost the game. It was nip-tuck. There were some calls that went the other way. But then I watched the whole Arkansas game the other day. And little Austin Allen, I don't know how little he is. He plays little. He got the snot knocked out of him. Play after play after play. And like his older brother, he just kept jumping back up and saying, call another one. I'll throw another one. He throws for 400 yards against Alabama. And it's sort of a wild game, and they really didn't have a chance, but he threw for 400 yards. And I'm saying, wait a second. Michigan is ranked #1 in the country in defense, rock solid on front end and back end. And that guy playing on the back end just might be in the Heisman talk pretty
Jabril
quickly, right?
Peppers.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
he's amazing.
just sensational. He's playing offense and defense. Ohio State is ranked second in the country in points allowed. That's pretty great because they have a quarterback, you say like a point guard quarterback, but he can distribute and they got weapons everywhere. So right now, to me, to my eye test, Ohio State's better than Alabama. I just think they could beat Alabama on a neutral field.
How many points would Alabama score on Rutgers?
Oh my goodness.
Rutgers might, if Michigan State.
Okay, but would Rutgers score on Alabama?
No,
Yeah, they'd probably score
no,
14.
No, I don't think that they
No,
would.
no.
I don't think that
And
they
see,
would.
the thing is, with
Everybody does.
Rutgers can't score on air right now.
Nick Saban, his thing is he wants to stop the run. And although Allen threw for 400 yards, he also put the ball in harm's way.
That's right.
He turned the ball over, 3 interceptions,
Okay,
one
he
went back
did.
for 100
That's
yards.
going to happen because they're Arkansas.
So Nick Saban says, that's what I want to do. I would rather know what you're going to do as opposed to you running the football, play passing me down the field. Because I believe if you put the ball in the air, this is his philosophy. He believes if you put the ball in the air enough, you'll make a mistake. Now, he doesn't like the ball being thrown over his head.
Which is why he was all over some of his defensive coaches on the sideline.
He was irate.
He likes for you to nickel and dime him. So that way he feels
I
you
gotta
know,
tell
10,
you,
15 plays, you're going to turn the ball
Nick
over.
Saban should be thankful that he did have the foresight to hire Lane Kiffin. I think Lane Kiffin is tremendous as a coordinator because they're doing some things that I sit back and say, that is really cool. What
It
he's
opened
doing
up
with
his
that
playbook.
freshman
Lane's
quarterback.
great, but Jalen Hurts has changed the dynamic
Well, he
of that
does.
team. He's been sensational. Just to quickly on their next 2 weeks, you mentioned Tennessee and then A&M. The more important game for them is A&M because they cannot lose in division. You can't expect A&M to lose twice like Ole Miss did a year ago. And the playoff committee has frowned upon greatly not winning your own division, much less your conference, as evidenced last year Ohio State didn't make the playoff. So if Alabama were to trip up, they better hope it's this week against Tennessee rather than in a division game against A&M down the
Remember
road.
my old Sooner quarterback, Trevor
Knight.
Knight. Remember what the
Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
remember
That's
the party
right.
he threw on Nick Saban?
Trust me, all the Aggie fans are praying that happens again.